This is just coming in on Sylvania here. See the dark black here and the bright red? That is almost what we call maximum gate-to-gate velocity. That is a classic signature of a tornado here. And that's that is how high is the elevation? 2780 feet above the surface. And it's also showing up right down there 1,700 feet. I'm getting all kinds of alarms still going off. Those of you in Sylvania, this thing is coming in right on you right now. You need to take your tornado precautions. It's getting very close now to the Sylvania area.
Dan, tornado warning now, central DeKalb County until 4 o'clock. Locations include Fort Payne, Henniger, and Mentone.
Right, and that's going to go all the way up. Yeah, it's the same storm. Sylvania, it's heading for you right now, and there's another circulation near Rainsville. I have strong rotation in both spots. I'm going to go ahead and pull this back here to show you what, pull out a little bit.
Do that too.
Okay, this thing goes all the way now. The tornado warning goes all the way to the Georgia line. And Henniger, you're at the north edge of it. Valley Head, you're in the path. So if you're in Valley Head, you need to take your tornado precautions right now because this thing is going to be on you fairly shortly. And we are going to go ahead and I'll give you a storm path on this here, and just as soon as I can pull the radar out here.
Carson Clark's on the phone Carson Clark is on the phone with storm damage. Carson?
That's right, Greg. We understand that an area that's called Preston Island, which is between Guntersville and Scottsboro there along Highway 79, that there is some pretty extensive damage. We understand that possibly some homes have been destroyed in that area. They've got ambulances going in there. Don't know if anybody's been hurt right now, but the crews are going in there to check that out. We are also headed that direction right now. Again, that's along Highway 79, which runs between Guntersville and Scottsboro, the waterfront community. But there's an area there called Preston Island, and these homes have been damaged on Preston Island Circle. As I said, we have some reports that maybe some houses there have been destroyed. But we're going to be headed that way.
But the main storm here is this one northwest of Fort Payne right now. You can see the time of arrival on your screen there. I'll recenter it down a little bit for you. Henniger, High Point, Wills Valley, Stamp, Pea Ridge Crossroads, Biddle Crossroads. These are all right in the path of this possible tornado. And as you heard Carson said, this is the same storm that's caused that damage and perhaps even injuries. It is a dangerous storm. It continues to move to the east at about 45 to 50 miles an hour. Tornado warning remains in effect for all of central DeKalb County, areas to the north of Fort Payne, including Henniger, Rainsville, Valley Head, Sylvania. Just north of Fort Payne, I'm still seeing strong rotation on this cell, and it's going to come just north of Fort Payne. If you're getting ready, if you're listening to me on the radio and you're on I-59 south of Fort Payne, you need to stop before you get past the Fort Payne exit. Do not go past there. If you're on I-59 and you've passed the Henniger exit, stop where you are. Let this storm, matter of fact, I turn around if you can, because do not pass that Henniger exit if you're heading south on I-59. Tornado warning in effect for that central area of DeKalb County. That cell's going to come very close to Valley Head, I think, as it moves off to the east at about 50 miles an hour. Those of you in that area, be very alert. It's now east of Sylvania. Those of you in Section and Langston are probably getting some hail right now, or at least have the yeah, definitely, just south of Langston especially. And that's
waiting on some spotter reports. It says numerous reports of damage in Sylvania and Powell.
Okay, so that's brand new right now. That just passed Sylvania. So numerous reports coming in of damage in Sylvania and Powell. So this is still a very dangerous storm. I'm still kicking off a shear marker. I'm still kicking off the TVS alarm on the radar. So those of you, it's getting real close to I-59. If you're listening to me on the radio and you're on Interstate 59 in the Fort Payne area, do not continue. Pull off and wait. Do not get under an overpass under any circumstances near the path of this storm. That would be a very dangerous mistake. It is now right on I-59. It is just crossing right now on I-59, coming in on hang on, let me get this right, just north of Fort Payne. It's getting very close to Valley Head now. So those of you in the Valley Head area, you need to take your precautions immediately because it's getting quite close to you. It's crossing I-59 right now. I may be off a mile or so, but it looks to me as if it's right on it right now. and it's going to go right on through Valley Head and then on into, that would be Walker County in Georgia, I believe. Hang on. Let's see, that's Dade, Walker, Chattooga. It's going to be in the Walker County and Dade County area of Georgia in just a few minutes.
Dan?
Yeah.
EMA reports tornado on County Road 238 south of Sylvania.
Right, and that's just a few minutes ago, and it's right, yeah, right here. I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit. It's a really brutal day of large hail, tornadoes. I was waiting last night to see what the forecasters out at the Storm Prediction Center in Norman were going to do, but I was 99% certain that we were going to be upgraded to a moderate risk. But it's always good. Two heads are better than one, and four is even better than forecasting. And they came out with that about 1:05 last night. I updated our website, but they basically circled East Tennessee and Northeast Alabama. It was just pretty obvious.
Again, this is south of Scottsboro. Now, wow. This is from Lisa Howard. From Langston.
That's the
this is Langston,
tornado,
which was on the firing line today.
I'm not that surprised to see that picture. From what I saw on radar, as I said, it looked to me as if it was just as strong a storm as what hit Murfreesboro, and that's the tornado, and that doesn't surprise me.
Wow, Lisa Howard with an extraordinary picture there, and I look at this picture and I see how close that appears to be, and I feel compelled to say, please be safe when you take these pictures.
That was a close call right there.
Goodness.
Boy. Greg, 30 years ago today, at about this time, I was in a NOAA chase vehicle on the way to Wichita Falls, Texas, because we thought that there were going to be some strong and tornadic storms around there. We were carrying movie camera equipment the days before videotape. And we stopped at a gas station and shut the back door of the vehicle, and the window broke out. It wasn't storms or anything. It's just one of those things that happened. And because of all that $1,000 movie equipment, we stopped our chase right then. 2.5 hours later, a tornado hit a shopping mall in Wichita Falls, Texas. Everyone got in their car to try to get out and away from it. That caused a traffic jam. I believe 47 people were killed. I was back in Norman, Oklahoma, 150 miles away that night, and banks were destroyed in Wichita Falls, Texas, and checks were floating down in the air in Norman from that. So,
Waterfront community, Carson Clark and Brad Hood going up there. Preston Island in particular, many homes hit from what we understand in the Preston Island community. Ambulances also going in, according to Carson Clark. No word yet of injuries there.
Okay, I'm in Gunnersville.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming down Highway 79 coming back from Scottsboro, and I was right at Waterfront Grocery. And before I got there, we come to a spot that was real calm. And before we got there, right before we got there, the wind got up, trees started falling, and a tree fell on a vehicle behind me. I looked in my rearview mirror and seen it. And so we got to Waterfront Grocery, and we went inside, and we seen a tornado. It hit the ground, so we went inside and then rode it out. We got in the vehicle and headed toward Gunnersville. There was a lot of ambulance and stuff going that way.
And again, what we understand, HIMSI here in Madison County is sending more ambulances to Preston Island. We'll keep you posted on that. And again, Jeff, what else? Tell us what else you saw after that tornado went through.
Well, when it come over, it looked like it was coming over from Grant, from that area. It come over from Grant and went across the road and hit the lake. And when it got on the lake, I don't know which way it went from there. But when we was at Waterfront Grocery, it looked like it was probably maybe 30 or 40 yards from the grocery there.
So tell me, you're looking in the rearview mirror. You're looking in the rearview mirror, and you see this tree hit the car. How big was the tree?
Oh, it was huge. A huge pine, probably 50, 60 foot.
How big around? Could you reach around it?
Oh, no.
Okay.
No, it was huge.
Okay. But you don't know the status of the person in the car behind?
No.
Okay. This is Jeff Eads, another person who saw the tornado go through. And
yeah, we understand that Highway 35, which is just off 72, which would be going toward the river bridge to take you up on the mountain to Section and across the mountain to Rainsville, Fort Payne. We understand that on Highway 35, from about K&K Trailer, the mobile home park there, to almost the river bridge, there have been a number of power poles that have been knocked down. maybe 8 to 9 power poles that have been knocked down